Alrighty, I have it on my calendar that I'm doing a TikTok live today. Am I doing a TikTok live today? Well, I'm here and it's TikTok and I'm live, so check. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, am I right? Okay, so yes, today is Tuesday, December 5th. It is 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And okay, technically I will say this. I'm a human. It's 11:02. I was on hold with my bank because I needed to reset my password. I know, fascinating, huh? So that's why I'm a smidgy widget later than I thought. But gosh darn it, do I not just show up all the time when I say I'm going to? But here's what's a couple of minutes between friends. So I promise, and I'm just double checking, and the answer is yes, that the cool thing is that I started a few minutes later. I'll end a few minutes later. There we go. We'll have all our time together. So yeah, it's so funny. I think I got a smudge on my glasses. So folks, how's it going? Clutter-wise and otherwise, let's talk about sex, baby. Actually, no, technically, let's not talk about sex at all. There are plenty of other stations that can do that, but what we're going to do is we're going to talk about clutter, and not just how your clutter looks, but the more I do it, and I apologize too, I just realized, so here's a funny thing. Here's a glimpse into my life. My husband, as I like to joke, makes noise for a living. He is a musician, and so oftentimes there are noises coming out from outside this room. At the moment, he and a musical counterpart of his, our BFF, Dennis Shockett, is up from Baltimore to make some musical noise, but at the moment they're making noise in the kitchen because our dishwasher went kaplooey. So you may hear some random vacuuming noises, I think it is. But in the meantime, we'll just concentrate on what we're doing. We will put the kind of the audio. What do you call those things? Your like earplugs in and blinders. That's what I'm thinking of, like those horse blinders, so you can focus on what's ahead. So I will do my best to put my own audio blinders on. Please do the same yourself, so we can spend quality time together, not just a quantity of time. Okay, so let's do that. DLC is asking, and L Prince is saying, I have a room, I have some clothes, barely walk in, got me in a grip, all this stuff. Good stuff here, and I will totally answer your questions. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that if anybody is new here and hasn't kind of met me before, you're just scrolling by and you're like, what's this lady talking about clutter? My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and I call my coaching Destination Decluttered. If you notice, you guys, I don't know how much I like this new heart, but I made a new heart for the end because the other one, somebody said, what's up with that weird blob at the end of this road trip? So I've got a new orange heart that we're moving towards. And I call my coaching Destination Decluttered because I want to take the drama out of decluttering and I want to make it fun. And how I do that is I do take the drama out of decluttering and I do make decluttering fun because I treat it like a road trip. Okay, so that's me. That's me. Catherine, I see you. German Maid 95. So many familiar names and whatnot are across here, but I just wanted to make sure that the new people knew who I was. That being said, what I'm going to do here, Lady V, you're welcome for me being here. I want to help you with your clutter struggle because when you learn the tools of the trade to manage your clutter, it's not just about the clutter in your home. It's about the clutter you can copy and paste these same systems and ways of thinking and methods and all that stuff into other areas of your life. But let's start with the home clutter first because that's the one that gets you the look that makes you feel better because when you feel better, you do better. Okay, so DLC, let's get into it. I need advice. I'll give that to you. Here, have some advice about getting rid of clothes that don't fit. Okay, let's start with the real basics. When your clothes don't fit and you don't think you want your body, if you don't think your body is going to be that shape or size again, donate your clothes to a place where somebody who is maybe that size can easily access them. So trust that just because you might have been one size at one point and you're not that size now, if you want to do things to change the size and shape of your body, go for it. But if you've decided it's just not in the cards for you, it's easy to just It's not easy. Why did I say that? I wasn't paying attention to myself. I know it can be uneasy to realize that my body was this shape once and now it isn't, but loving yourself wherever you are in the moment, the body you have, and also releasing the clothing feels so good, feels better. So try that. And what I want to offer is, if that is difficult for you, dig a little bit deeper. Ask yourself, what's the thought that is making me feel like I need to hang on to these things and I can't let go? That's kind of the life coach approach to decluttering. All right. So DLC, we'll start with the basics right there. And what I just shared with you is going to help everybody, no matter what you are struggling to let go of clutter-wise. Because if you're struggling to let go, notice I'm using my heart and my hand here. If you can't let go, if you're holding on and you can't let go, it's because up here, there's a thought that's making you feel a feeling that's making you hanging on to stuff. And I appreciate this. I see a bunch of people that I've been recently just following my Destination Decluttered page. That's why I'm kind of lovingly kind of flicking them out of the way. But thank you, everybody who is digging what you're hearing, even in just these short minutes, and is following my page. I show up on TikTok quite often doing TikTok lives. I have an email list and one-on-one coaching that I do. Just wanted to mention that. But thank you, everybody who is dropping me a follow, as the kids say. Or just maybe that one Irish guy that I'm always watching because he cracks me up. And then the other thing too is, if you know somebody who is struggling with clutter, maybe they're Gen X, maybe they don't dig a lot of self-help or something, but they are struggling with it, let them know about me. I feel like I show up differently than many other coaches out there. So I might be something that could help somebody you know who's struggling with clutter. Okay, just wanted to mention that. Okay. There goes the vacuum. At least I'm not the one doing it. So L Prince is saying, I have a room that I can barely walk in that's got me in a grip. So I love playing with the words we use, because the words we use are the thoughts we have in our head that are coming out of our mouths, or when you're typing, out of your fingers. So notice this, and I want you to start playing with everybody. Play with this. This is a tool in your decluttering toolkit. In your life decluttering toolkit is pay attention to your words, get curious about your words, and notice which ones you can flip to the opposite. If you feel like this room has got me in a grip, what would you rather feel? What would you rather do? What's the opposite? What's the flip side of got you in a grip? Maybe this room has no power over me. It does not have me in a grip. I am breaking free from the grip that this room has over me, and I'm going to do something about the feeling that this room has a grip on me. Notice your words, and notice the ones that are keeping you stuck and holding on to stuff. In those words, get strategic. Circle them, flip them over, and what's the opposite of that word? If you're feeling heavy, maybe you want to feel light. If you're feeling oppressed, you want to feel free. If things feel dark, maybe you want some lightness, some airiness, some transparency. Notice the power words have over us, the way we're built as humans. Words make us make pictures and feel feelings, and those pictures and words and feelings in up here result in what happens at the end of these phalanges, your hands, your head, your heart, and your hands. When they work together, man, that's like a dynamic trio, okay? It's like, I don't know, what's a trio? Like the Police were a trio, the Kingston Trio were a trio. I can't think of any other bands that were trios, but I'm sure you can put them in the comments. But think about it. The head, the heart, and the hand. I know there's the head and the heart, but the head and the heart and the hand. Oh, you guys, it's 11:11. My husband and I often just see that on the thing, so I just wanted to mention it to you, okay? But notice when they're all working together, you've got something cool going on. But if anything's out of whack, it's like a triangle that's kind of collapsed on one side. It doesn't work as well as intended. What I'm doing right now, I'm scrolling back to make sure I can catch some of these questions. And as I do that, I also want to mention that one of the reasons why I read the questions out loud or the comments and respond to them thusly is because these TikTok lives are, after they're live and they cease to be live, they are recorded and I upload them to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. I do that because of you. Because I was told by folks who follow me that it's really helpful for them to, when I'm not around, to listen to them for inspiration and motivation. Excuse me, I'm just going to plug in my phone right here. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. I say that because a lot of the folks that I work with have a touch of the ADHD. I have it myself. It's in my family, you know, everywhere from medicated and diagnosed and medicated to undiagnosed and unmedicated and all the flavors in between. Now, I say that because ADHD folks, what helps you can also help neurotypical people in that notion of being able to focus better, maybe when you've got body doubling. You've got somebody kind of keeping you company while you do that, keeping you engaged and focused in your project. While I am not there in person in your home, nor will I ever be, because that's not how I coach, listening to one of these lives or a recorded live can help you focus. So I say that right now is it's 11:13 Eastern right now. I feel like I'm back in college radio. You know, it's 1:15, and you're listening to whatever. You're listening to Destination Decluttered Radio, and what I want to offer is I will be here for the next 45 minutes. Do you have 45 minutes that you could listen to me and, you know, listen to some thoughts and things about making you feel a certain way about your clutter so you can take action? If you have those 45 minutes, how about this? How about putting down the phone, putting it where you can hear stuff, but instead of just sitting down and listening to me, if your situation allows, how about getting up and doing some surface decluttering while I'm doing this? Make the most of our time together. I won't be offended if you're puttering around while I'm doing this. I do not need a rapt audience hanging on every word. It is more delightful to me to imagine all of you getting up and doing some things versus just sitting there and simply letting this wash over you like any other TikTok. Get up, move around, jump up, jump down, right? Okay, so notice that. Okay, drama-free, yes. Alice says, I'm going to check the calendar later today to see if you have time for a discovery call soon. Good question, Alice. You know, I can help you with that because I don't even know myself. I'm looking at my own calendar. I do not have time today for consults. So if you're interested in I'm just being clear about this, the only time this week and scheduled at all for me to do consults if you're interested in becoming a one-on-one client prior to the end of the year. This week, the only thing I've got is Thursday, 10:30 a.m., 12 p.m., and 2:30 p.m. Go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com, and look for the big old button that says work with me or schedule your consultation. It will pop up a calendar. I just popped it up myself on my computer over here. That's when you'll know you have some. Now, next week I may have some availability, but then I'm going on vacation. Then I'm coming back from vacation. It will be the week before Christmas and New Year's. I may schedule a few of those in. Those are the ones that are officially available. However, I will just say, if you're on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list and you do not see a time or a date that works for you, you know how to get in touch with me and we can make it happen. If you're a member of the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, which is free, it's never, you know, it's kind of fun, but it's not anything like, you know, it's not like one of those credit cards you get to pay for. It's free. Go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com/join, join it. Okay, enough of the infomercials. Let's get back to the fun. Okay, DLC lost 70 pounds, so you know how you do something right. That's awesome. You know how to let go of what no longer serves you, both in terms of food and habits and things. Okay, Angela Jensen is saying, I always feel like it is wasteful. Notice the thought you have that makes you feel a feeling and you do a thing. Also notice the words you use, always, never, superlatives, dramatic words. There are times when I'm sure you have released something that didn't serve you, clutter-wise and otherwise. Your body does it every day, multiple times a day. Notice that. Okay. I love this. Melissa with a little 3 in it says, oh my God, you're on. I have been watching your YouTube, going through my kitchen and pantry. You did. You changed your heart. Yeah, I did change my heart. Yes, you're right. And what I will say is, yes, I'm on TikTok Live. And you know about this if you're on my mailing list. You will also know about the next time I'm going to go on. I'm just going to get closer here because I can hear the whatever the F is going on in my kitchen. I'm not going to complain because they are fixing a problem. Okay, there we go. I get distracted and it takes me focus to do this. what I want to offer is, if you're looking for the next time I'm doing a TikTok live, I always put a video pinned to the top of my thing that says when I'm going to be TikToking live. TikToking. Listen to me, I'm talking on TikTok. It's TikTok. So there are many ways you know when I'm going to show up live. If you follow me now, you should get some sort of alert when I'm going live. TikTok, all the good things. Okay, but again, enough about me. Wendy Rose, I'm feeling my house is ugly, and so I don't care to care about it. That's kind of a bummer. It is. Wendy Rose, I don't even know you, but I'm going to say you deserve to live in a house that you don't think is ugly and that you do care about. So wherever you are, make the best of what you have. That's what I think, because why not? Why postpone? I'm going to live and feel like my house is ugly and I don't care about it, and I'm going to wait and I'm going to postpone feeling good until the future when I'm not in this house and I'm somewhere else. What I want to empower you to do is you can change the way you feel by changing your exterior, how it looks. Okay? Why do you think your house is ugly? You don't want to call anything ugly. I'm sure it has good features. Maybe it has walls that keep the wind out, a roof that keeps the rain out, floors that keep you from walking on dirt. Love your house no matter what it is. It's helping you out. It's helping you. It's better than having no house at all. And yeah, it may not be your dream house, but it could be a stepping stone house. And in the meantime, it's better than not having a home at all. So how can you make where you are the best for you right now? And when you learn how to do that, you will realize that it's a continuing wonderful cycle. Oh, this feels better. This looks better. I want, and feeling better in your place. Okay? So just notice that. Catherine is saying, finished cleaning kitchen and running dishwasher. I'm envious because my dishwasher is currently being worked on by my awesome husband and our awesome friend. And also furnishing Christmas cards. There you go. Yes, I need to get that on thank you for that reminder. We take out Christmas cards. So I'm writing that down right now. And I'm just jotting it down in a place where I look for my notes to self. I don't remember a lot up here. I do not expect my brain to remember things. My brain is for problem solving and imagination and creating things that ain't never been seen before, Jay. But in the meantime, I also want to do Christmas cards. So I'm writing down Christmas cards to remind myself after I'm off of this, when I'm in a better place to do that, is figure out the next steps for that. Okay? Marianne with 1N is asking, is your process to start in one area of a room, and where do I start? So yeah, I will give you the kind of the bigger picture of this. Why I suggest you start in one area of one room is the notion of overwhelm versus down. The word over and down. Over and out, over and down. And when you are overwhelmed, if you don't know where to start, I say start with the end in mind, this orange heart right here, your destination, to say, what do you want that area of your room to look like? What do you want that room to look like? I know you want your whole home probably to be neat and organized and all that type of stuff. Good. You have a destination of your whole home. But how you start is just by starting small, is a mile at a time in the road trip lingo. So pick one room and then create your definition. What do you want that specific room to look and feel and function like? Write that down. Get your thoughts out of your head. Notice I said overwhelmed to down. Write it down. And then when you write it down, chunk it down into smaller sections. Well, I maybe don't have time or energy to do the whole room, but what can I do now? I have this quote right over here that I got when I used to work at a frame store. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Theodore Roosevelt. What can you do where you are with what you have? You have a head, a heart, and a hands. If you can envision what you want, even just that one table to look like, you want it to be less cluttered, work on that one table and just say, what is this thing that's cluttering the table? Do I want it? If I want it, where does it go? If I don't want it, where does it go? Lather, rinse, repeat. Okay? That's how you go from stuck to started. And then you repeat and repeat and repeat. And now I'm going to be riffing on the Mills Brothers. Okay? Because that's just how my brain works. And I like to have fun when I'm coaching. So I work with my brain and as opposed to fighting against it. And boy, is it so much easier. Okay? There we go. And thank you for letting me know you hear me great. Okay. What else do we have here? Okay, Louise is saying, went through my Christmas boxes, but didn't get rid of enough. Now, enough is a really interesting word because enough is not a number. Enough is a feeling. It is a feeling in your body. When it feels right, you know when you've had enough food, when you know when you've had enough, and you know when you have too much. So notice you went through and you got rid of some of your too much, but you're still not at your just right point, as Goldilocks would say. There we go. Okay, so just notice that. And I will say, yeah, do the decluttering to a level that feels right to you. And it isn't just a one and done. It is going to be sweeps. It's going to be like combing through something. You go and you pull some things out that are pretty easy. Look, I don't need those mugs. Those are a couple of t-shirts I don't need. You kind of comb through the things that are easier to get rid of, or like raking your lawn, you know, and then you do that and you see what's left and you say, oh, maybe I can comb out a few more things. Notice how I'm doing this. I'm not pulling all of it out. I'm looking at kind of each individual thing. We're scrolling it out. Do I want this or not? No, yes, I do. And lather, rinse, repeat until it feels better and feels just right. There you go. Kaylee is asking, hey Kaylee, best way to tackle piles of laundry when you go to laundromat with small machines. Okay, here's a literal like math problem thing. Knowing that the machines can only fit so much, make sure that you pay attention to the quantity of laundry you have, that when you bring it there, each bag maybe fits into one of those machines. Notice that. Now, for example, we don't go to the laundromat, but we have a washer and dryer in the nook right around the corner. And the interesting thing is this becomes kind of a math problem because the hamper we use fits more than a load of laundry. So I notice I have kind of a line. It's more like I probably could get official and like draw a line on it that says about up to here equals the amount of clothes that can easily fit into the washing machine. So get curious about those things. Notice when you allow your laundry to pile up when it becomes too much. Again, enough, too much. And catch yourself before you get there and maybe do smaller loads of laundry. Maybe more frequently, but it may be easier to manage, that overwhelm versus chunking down. Okay? Notice that. There we go. Chunk it down. Love that. I did the tea towel drawer 3 months ago. It's divine. You want that tea towel feeling, that divine feeling. You want that everywhere in your house. No matter where you look, no matter what drawer you open or door you open or surface you look at, who doesn't want to feel divine? There we go. Yes, Pam, the dog lady, is saying, I use the word cull. I use that too. You cull things out. That often makes me think of like when you're fishing. You know, pull out the ones you don't want. The culls are not the best ones. You want to cull out the stuff that doesn't do it for you and save only the good stuff. Okay? And I say save only the good stuff because I want you to start to pay attention to not just how your clutter makes your home look, but how your clutter makes your body and your life feel. Notice I am pausing for effect, because this is where it's at. So I tell you that to start paying attention to when you look at an item in your home, play this game. I am Gen X, I am a coach, but if things are boring, I don't want to do it. So when I say to you, play a game, remember this game. And we used to play a version of this when I was little, and I imagine ourselves on somebody's front yard or backyard playing red light, green light. It's pretty simple. Back in my day, we didn't have video games. We had to play with our imaginations. And don't I sound like an old person? But think about it. Red light, you stop. Green light, you move forward. When you're in your car, road trip, same thing. Red light, you stop. Green light, you move forward. Yellow light is Mr. In-Between. It's neither red nor green, but which one do you want it to be? So when you look at an item without thinking up here, check in with this barometer, this right here, and say, does that thing give me that green go, yes, I love it feeling? Or does it give me that stop, ugh, no, don't want it feeling? Or is it somewhere in between? When you're culling out the stuff you don't want, you're culling out the stuff that makes you go, nope, I'm done, red, and the stuff that's yellow that you really know you don't want, you just haven't given yourself permission to release it. Okay? Notice that. Notice how it makes you feel. That's where it's at. It doesn't matter. We have all been in people's houses that look good on the outside, but don't feel good. You feel uncomfortable when you're in a house that's too perfect, that doesn't feel like there's any soul in it. It's like meeting people that seem very superficial. It's like robots. I don't know. I am a robot. AI. The more AI is becoming part of our world, the more important it is to embrace your humanity and who you are and show up like a human being with feelings and thoughts and emotions and personality. Welcome to me. There we go. Okay, so just notice that. Okay. Okay. User Valerie Morris says, my house is too small for my family size. Okay, that could be a math problem. I really need everything I have. How do you organize? I will offer you this because I can organize like nobody's business, but boy, oh boy, RD, does it make it easier to organize when you have fewer items. It does. Every item you have in your home adds to your responsibility and having to deal with it. So, Valerie, have an honest conversation with yourself and just play with this idea. Can you look around and say, are there even decreasing the amount of items you have in your home by 10% will increase the ease with which you organize your items? So go around, everybody. Can you go and can you comb through your stuff and get rid of, not get rid of, I use that word because it comes so naturally because we're so used to it, but remove 10% of what you have in your home and be okay with what's left, and you can still function well. I never want you to go below and get into a scarcity model unless that feels right to you. But think about it. Could you even comb out 10%? Try that before you organize, and then notice you thought you needed all of it, but how much do you really need? And only you know that feeling of lack and abundance and just right in your life situation, in your journey through life, in how you got here and where you came from and where you want to go. Your version is going to be uniquely and humanly different than mine. Isn't that cool? We are not all machines and we don't want cookie cutter lives. So create a life that looks and feels and functions like you want it to. And also makes it easier for you to maintain it, and not just you maintaining it, but everybody living in the household contributing to it looking and feeling and functioning better for everybody. I totally dismiss the idea that it's one person's responsibility, that it's typically the women. That is an old-fashioned, outdated, unsustainable, just historical model that does not work. Okay? Just notice that. That's how I coach. All right. Shannon with no N. Shannon, sorry. What if you're down to the piles of stuff with no home, but you want to keep it? If you want to keep it, you're going to find it a home. Find a home for it that works for you. Now, this is where it gets into the home for your items that works for you, kind of falls under the umbrella of when I ask you, when you're my one-on-one client, and I say, okay, what's your destination? I want everybody here. Pretend you're my client. You've had your first session today. I had one this morning with somebody. 6 a.m. If you want to get coached at 6 a.m., I have availability, and it went really well. So I'm just planting that seed. If you're a wicked early bird and you want my coaching and you can't do it any other time, I show up as early as 6 a.m. Not every day, but get in touch with me and we can work on it. But I say this because one of the very first things I do with every single one of my clients is to say, what's your destination? And if you don't know, then we create it. We're on a road trip together. I hop in the passenger seat, but you're in the driver's seat. Where are we going? If you say, I don't know, we're just going to sit there. But you say, well, I want my home to look like this. So I want you to think of this. What do you want your home to look like? But also, how do you want to feel in your home? That's even more important. And then how do you want it to function? So when Shanna is saying when you're down to the piles of stuff with no home, but you want to keep it, when you're looking for a home for your items, I want you to work with your own unique brain, with your own unique home, with your own unique habits, and not against it. Work with your natural inclinations. So where is a place that feels right, that makes sense to you to put some of those items? Put them in that space. It can be as simple as that. Check in with here and here. When these two are in alignment, your heart and your head are both like, you know what? You know where I would find my scissors? You know where I want to put my old family photos? And it doesn't have to be the mwah, chef's kiss perfect place, but I bet there is a slightly better place to put it than where it is piled up right now. And notice that some things are incremental. You don't go from point A to point Z immediately. You say, well, it doesn't look good there. Where would it be there a place that if I went to go look for it, I'd know where it is? I'm not just shoving it randomly to get out of the way so it looks better. Doesn't function well because then when you go to find something, you can't find it because you put it somewhere, right? Put it someplace intentionally that makes sense to you. So if you went to go look for it again, you can use it. Okay. I love it. Alexis is saying I have Mondays and Thursdays for laundry, no matter what I wash and put away on those days. That's cool. You know what I do is when I feel like I'm kind of running out of clothes, I will do some. I don't like to be too regimented. I'll be honest with you. I love having a flexible life, so I use different triggers and different cues to indicate it's time to do laundry. Usually, if I'm running out of my ever present long sleeve black t-shirts or my good underpants that I don't want to wear, my backup underpants, I'll say, you know what, I bet it's time for a load of laundry. And that's how I do mine. But you do what works for you. And what works for you is going to be doing something that seems not overwhelming, not too difficult, fairly simple and easy to get the results you want. Okay? So just notice that. What do we have? Oh, somebody's, L Prince just got to run. Have a great day. You have a great day too. Okay, what do I want to offer? Barefoot Eclectic. I finally got my art room organized last week. Yay! Yay! Lots of fabric in bins, but it's in bins, not piles. Notice the incrementally better portion of that show. It's not in piles, it's in bins. Now, I hope what you did for your own sake. I mean, here's the deal. I want the best, what's best for you. It's no skin off my nose, I can hear my mother say, but it really, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter to me what you did, but I'm hoping what you did when you did that is you sorted out, you culled out, instead of just moving things from place to place, that you took the time, you interrupted that process, and you made some decisions about the fabric that you kept. And you kept the stuff you loved, and you made another home. You got rid of the stuff that you didn't want. And again, I'm using got rid of, but what I mean is you got it out of your life and closer to somebody else's. Okay? User 6267 is asking, how do I get past thinking I may need it one day? I want to help you with that because your thoughts and your feelings create your actions, and then your actions create your results. So think about it. You have a thought. I am thinking this phrase. I can't get rid of that. I may need it someday. Notice that feeling of I may need it. Gives you a little bit of I want to be safe. If I want it, I don't want to be in need. I want to have it. It gives me security. I'm holding on to this thing. What I want to offer all of you is this tool for your toolkit. Curiosity. It may have killed the cat, satisfaction brought him back, but curiosity. Get curious about you when that phrase pops up. What specific item in your home brings up that thought? I can't get rid of that potato masher. I might need it someday. Okay, fair enough. And then have a conversation with yourself. Not judgment, but just curious. When was the last time I used it? I don't know. Thanksgiving? All right. When's the next time I think I might use it? Maybe Christmas? Maybe Easter? Maybe next Thanksgiving? Notice the frequency with which you use something. Also think of, if I didn't have it, could I use something else for this? There are a lot of questions you can ask yourself, but the goal of the questioning is for you to make a decision about an item that feels good to you at that moment and also supports the life you want outside. If you want a decluttered life, you should just have this conversation with yourself about the items you have. What is this item? Do I want it? If I want it, What home does it have? If I don't want it, how can I get it to a better home than mine? Notice that. KK is asking, how do you get rid of stuff that I know is worth something, but can't sell it and no one wants it? So I got to ask you the question, if it's worth something, why does nobody want it? If it's worth money, there's somebody out there who's willing to pay money for it. But if they're not willing to pay money for it, no, there's a little bit of a disconnect there. And get yourself curious. This is what we do. We get curious about our words, because our words are just our thoughts made real, or not real, but visible. Thoughts made visible. I can't sell it. Why can't you sell it? You could sell it, but do you want to sell it? You could sell it, but do you want to sell it? That's a completely different conversation. Now, I have been in that place. For a short amount of time, actually, it's probably at the beginning of eBay, I used to pay my rent because I had quit a job and I had no money, and I paid rent for a while selling stuff that I would thrift on eBay. And for a while there, that was fun and it was exciting, and oh my God, I'm making money and trash to treasure and all that kind of stuff. It was fun until it wasn't. And then instead of it being a joy, I was like, oh, this is kind of monotonous. I don't enjoy it anymore. That changed I still could do it. I can do it, but did I want to? No. So I stopped and I did something else. Okay? So notice that. CM Lee is saying the purchase costs a lot of money at the time. Feelings, yeah. Ignore the sunk costs. It is you can Google, what's the word? Because I'm not an economist, but the sunk cost fallacy, I believe. Seth Godin is the one who introduced me to it. Not personally. I mean, I saw a TikTok or something. But think about it. You never get your money back on things that depreciate. What you get your money back on time and time again are going to be investments and things that you invest in. So notice that about every single thing that you own. You will never get your money back. And just get comfortable with that idea. When you buy something, it may work out, it may not. You may get your money's worth and you may not. Know that it's a crapshoot, so make more intentional purchases, but then also be ready to forgive yourself when things don't pan out. You tried. You thought that salt shaker was going to work, and then you realized when you topped it upside down, the whole top fell over, and you're like, shit, I just paid $5 for that. Or, oh, shit, I just paid $5,000 for a higher education that I'm not even really technically using the official skills for. Welcome to being human. It has happened in the past. It's going to happen in the future. You can rail against it and it's not going to change it. You can do your best to make a decision about something, but after that, it might work, it might not. Be cool with that and be ready to release the items as soon as you realize it's not going to work. I like to think about this because I talked about it. It helped somebody, so I want to reiterate it. And also because I just put on some new lipstick and it's feeling kind of crumbly. So lipstick. I want some lipstick that's long lasting, that it doesn't get on my, my mug when I'm doing my TikToks and I get little schmudgies right here. So I go and I buy some that's supposed to be long lasting. I pay money for it. I try it out. And I go like this, and all of a sudden it's all over my mug and I'm like, shit. I thought that was going to work out. The more I keep it though, the lipstick does not change. The lipstick is not like, oh, no, I meant to do this. I can change how I use it. Maybe I, dry my lips. Maybe I do this. Or the color just looks wrong. The color will not change on me. Hanging on to it longer does not get my monies back. I'm not using it. It just didn't work out. The sooner you release the items that are not working for you, the easier your life is. You're not guilted into, there's $10 I just made on that, just spent on that lipstick. There's that other 10. Yep, that's that lipstick. That's all orangey. Release the expectation. Release the sunk costs. Forgive yourself for the sunk costs and move on to feel better. Okay, whoosh, there we go, a whole bunch of things. All right, we got like 20 minutes left, 21 minutes left. Just wanted to quickly reintroduce myself if you're just meeting me. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. So I don't just talk about folding sheets and putting Cheerios in clear boxes and all that kind of crapola. I know that stuff like the back of my hand. Well, except for like the fitted sheets thing. My fitted sheets are rolled up in a ball, but I know where they are and I can put them on my bed because I don't want to spend my time doing like the the sheet police. The sheet police are not coming to my house. I know where they are. They're clean. I can put them on the bed. Nobody's business. And then I have time to go out and do things that I want to in life. That's why I'm a decluttering life coach. I don't want you spending any more time than you need to on your home. No, I want your home to help you live the life you want. I don't want it to be the other way around. That you know how, that your home looks and feels and functions like you want it to, so that you have the maximum amount of time to go do other stuff with the one and only life you have. Okay? Gal on the Go just said, your glasses are super cute. Thank you. They're those pear ones. Here, check it out. This is kind of fun. They're the ones that have like these little things on them. So like when I'm not coaching, I put these on because they give me a little bit more definition when I'm on the screen. But then oftentimes, because I have, oh, you know what? I have, this is not, I could go all infomercially to you, but I just bought some, the ones with the sunglasses that I put on. I find that very helpful, but thank you. Yeah, I should probably have one of those little spiffy things, but whatever. I get my coaching, I get my money from doing one-on-one coaching at this point, and I should probably diversify my revenue streams, but 2024, we'll figure it out. Okay, so what else do we have here? So we were a little less than 15 minutes because I was yakking right there, but I just want to offer a couple things. Destination Decluttered here on TikTok. If you haven't followed me, follow me. That's how you'll find out when I go live again, and I do TikTok lives quite often. When I am not traveling, I do them multiple times a week. When I am traveling, the ones that I have done are uploaded to TikTok. Excuse me, the TikToks are uploaded to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. So you can listen to them at your leisure when it's convenient to do, for tips and suggestions and pop culture references and fun and a little companionship when you're decluttering by yourself, and to just plant some seeds about how you want your home to look and feel like and function like, with some practical get up out of your seat and do something. I have an email mailing list if you're interested in being on that. The reason I offer that is because I like to know people that are, maybe just ready to take a slightly closer step to possibly being my coaching client. Not everybody's a client, but I offer that one-on-one coaching, package of 10 sessions, all that kind of stuff. But the email mailing list is free. I say that because one of the cool things that we do just for the people on the mailing list is a monthly free group Zoom call. And it's like this, only better, because you don't have to type and we see each other if we want to put on our cameras. And it's a fraction of the amount of people that show up right here. So we can really get into some good one-on-ones to give you a taste of what one-on-one coaching and how the difference is when you get a little bit more attention to just you, how it can change your life for the better. Okay, so that's all destinationdecluttered.com. You can find out that. Okay. Lynn Gardner says, what's your thoughts on attics? Only holiday stuff? If you got an attic, yay. If you don't have an attic, cool. Put in your attic what you want to put in there. Now, what I will say is, notice that the holiday stuff in the attic is because what you're doing is you're making things that you use infrequently less easily accessible than the things you use frequently. Notice that you have your silverware in your silverware drawer because you use it pretty much every day, but maybe your giant serving platter for a turkey you then store someplace less convenient to free up space for things that are more convenient. So you do you. What feels right to you? What makes sense to you in how your house is set up, in how you live, in how you think? Where would you go for it? Like we actually kind of we don't even have an attic. We live in a ranch, and our above is actually, because it's a flat level, it's a kooky house. I love it. I love my house, but it doesn't have much of an attic. All that's in there is like insulation and stuff. We have a basement. So my Christmas stuff, our holiday things are down the basement. What else is down the basement? Some sentimental stuff that I've curated and gone through and that isn't really displayable, but I want to keep, is in some boxes that are labeled and organized, and I know what's in there. Luggage that we use, anything that doesn't need to be, everything doesn't need to be right in your face. And if you're thinking out of sight, out of mind, I want you to start to look for examples in your life where things are out of sight and also you know where they are. Silverware drawer, think about that. You know where your forks are. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're going to be like, aha, don't know where my forks are. There we go. All right, we got a few more minutes here. Okay, Trish is saying, my poor basement, so much stuff. Okay, how can you love up on your basement? How does your basement want to feel? Probably not as heavy and as loaded down with stuff. So what are some easy things you can take out of your basement to incrementally start lightening the load? You'll feel better, so will your basement. There we go. Sci-Fi Nova says, no attic, no basement, not a single luxury, huh? Was it Gilligan's Island? No attic, no basement, one car garage. I need to be organized. Yeah. Notice that your situation with math and space will dictate how much stuff you have to, so that you can live comfortably. We often think if I just had more space, I would be more comfortable. But sometimes the more space can get you into trouble because you don't realize how much you have accumulated until you have a lot more than you thought. When you're in a smaller space, that causes you to realize that you've made decisions and things are piling up, and you need to make decisions that make you feel better about look at me, I'm kind of squishing, like you're getting, you notice this a lot sooner in a small space. So then you make decisions about what makes you feel better. Notice that. A lot of space. If you have a bigger house, if you have an attic, a basement, a garage, storage unit, all they do, they're like enablers. They enable you to avoid making decisions. So just notice that, and notice how much money you can spend to avoid making decisions. I'm not going to decide whether I want this or not. I'm just going to buy new ones. If I can't find it, I'll just buy another one. I'm going to just put those things into storage units that cost me hundreds of dollars per month. I have clients that told me that they spent more in half a year on just storing their stuff than a 10-session package of coaching costs from me. So notice where you're spending your money and what's the result you're getting. Okay? All right. Anna Little is saying, I feel like I need everything. Notice your very dramatic words. Everything, and or don't want to waste money. If you've purchased it, you've already spent the money. Holding on to it does not make the money come mysteriously back into your bank account. So just notice that. Okay. Rachel is saying, empty nest stuffed with totes. Stuffed with totes. And stuff. Stuffed with stuff and totes with stuff. I can't think in this mess. Notice how your stuff, your clutter, is making you feel. How does it feel when you can't think? Look at me. I'm like, I can't even think. And then what's the opposite? Wouldn't it feel nice to be able to just think in your space? That's peace of mind. That's decluttering up here. When you can think, when the external clutter and the internal clutter are at a manageable level, so you can say, whoosh, I can think. I can hear myself think in here. I remember hearing as a kid, because I've got ADHD in my family. It's like, I can't hear myself think. There's too much going on. I can't hear myself think. Did you notice earlier in the live, if you were here, it was much more difficult for me to concentrate when there was audio clutter. When my husband and Dennis were putting on the vacuum or whatever they were using, it was harder for me to focus when there was audio. I used to work in a stupid open concept office. OMFG, was that not productive? So what I started to do was I would put in earbuds, even when I wasn't listening to anything, just to help me focus. Find the things that work for you to help you get things done. So yes, work on your house so you feel better. How do we decrease the internal clutter? Amber, good question. The same way you decrease the external clutter. Take the overwhelm, and as I like to say, think of the word down. Calm down your nervous system. Slow down your movements. Breathe down into your lungs, and then slowly slow down your exhale. Calm down your body and your nervous system to quiet your mind. Meditate, if you want to call it that. Quiet your mind. Hush up the little kids in the back seat with their chatter. And then when you feel like you're when you feel like you're veering off course, you just redirect. And you do it a minute at a time, a chunk at a time, and you get better. It's the same thing you do about the external clutter. You calm down your nervous system, always the first place to start, and then you dump down your thoughts. You write down your thoughts, get them out of your head, you dump them down, out of your thoughts, out of your head into paper, and then you chunk down what you can do, and then you marry that up to your calendar, a process I call breeze blocking. Okay? I love it. Kathy Michelle is saying, I keep an earbud in one ear every day at work just to help to be able to concentrate. Yes, do whatever it takes to encourage yourself to focus. And this is a survival mechanism at a certain point. We live in the most distracted portion of our society's history. And when you are distracted and swish, then your energy is everywhere and your distraction and your focus is everywhere. Squirrel, what? Huh? Ooh, me, huh? What? Huh? That's reactive. That's problems. That's like putting out fires versus slowing it down, being intentional, taking things, saying, running it through your internal, does this feel right? Do I want to do this or not? That can take a fraction of the time that you think it does, but that's going to feel so much better. Okay? Yeah, you have so many squirrels. Learn to notice the squirrels, but then practice not reacting to the squirrels. Oh, that's right. You know what? I'm working on this. I have to do this to myself often. Like, as I keep on mentioning, today, because my life is different every other day, our friend came over, and before they start working on music, they were working on the dishwasher. So I heard Dennis come in. I love this guy. He's awesome. I met him same time I met my husband. I want to give him a big hug because we have friends and he's in my house. But I was like, you know what? I know you want to do that, but here, just give yourself 2 more minutes, finish the thought so you feel better about what you did and you practice focusing, and then you can go out into the kitchen and be like, yay, right? It's that delayed gratification allowed me to not like leave a thought half done and then be like, wait, what was I doing here? Because I went squirrel. Allowing yourself to do that. Practice focusing. That's what coaching helps you do too. All right. There we go. Lab is just saying, during this hour, I've been able to put lights on my tree while listening. Okay. That's one of the reasons I love doing these TikTok lives, is to help you understand that there is something you can do. There are many things you can do to make your decluttering not so bad, to make it easy, to make it feel better. Now, there are other things that you may feel like you can't do, and it's more like I don't want to or I don't know how to. That's what coaching helps with. Okay? There we go. See, it's funny. So share over by 80, share over by 80. Thank God I work from home, no distractions. I'm thinking that's kind of ironic because I felt when I was working my corporate job, and this was pre-COVID, when I worked at home, I felt like I had even more distractions because I would see the laundry. The dog would bug me. I would be wanting to do something else than when my job was, you know? So just notice that distraction and focus. And when what you focus on, you create more of. And so if you want to focus on decluttering, you can start that. If you want to focus on being distracted, and sometimes that's fun. You need the release. You need the, what is it? Frank Lloyd Wright, release and expansion, right? The balance of it. Sometimes when you're really focused at a certain time, you can be like, I am done. But that felt really good. But now I'm going to like flick on TikTok and be like, do, 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 la, la, la. You're going to give that focusing a rest because you can only focus for so long. Give yourself a break and then go back to it. Give yourself a break. It's like a road trip. You can only drive a few hours without having to go pee. I don't know. And then even if you're not, you get out every 2 hours, says AAA, and you go stretch, you drink some water. Allow yourself to do that. You don't have to be at a, factory job all day if it's your life. Okay? Yes, Kara Cargill is saying, I have to limit myself to TikTok. I do the same thing. I do, but I also forgive myself and I allow myself to be the person I want, that I feel like if I need some distraction, I will do it after I have done, or as a break from what I'm doing. If I find myself on TikTok for too long, I get curious about that. Why am I doing this and not doing something else? Okay. I love this. Wenny Wu 17 says, I've been doing things here since I clicked on your page. You're really helping me. Thanks. You're welcome. That's why I show up. I show up to remind you, to awaken in you that dormant concept of you can do something. You are not a victim. You can do something. No matter what little thing it is, every big thing is made up of a wicked lot of little things. So what can you do today with the time and energy you have? And you are not a dummy. You know that there are some things around your house that are in a place where they just don't belong. What's the opposite of just don't belong? They're on there. Put the things where they belong. If they don't have a home, ask yourself, do I really want this? And if I do, let me make a home for it that's better than where it is right now. It may not be the perfect home, but it's got to be better than it sitting on the kitchen table. Put it closer to where you use it. Put it closer to like items together. Put all, different things that you go to find something, you know where it's going to be. Sharon is saying, yes, listening to something helps while I work. Know that about yourself, self-knowledge. Find out what works and use those tools. So like, for example, I'm signing off. Actually, I said 3 minutes, but I was late. So I'm going to be here for another 5 minutes because I like to honor my time. But I want to say to you is I want to share with you, work with yourself, not against yourself. And if you find that listening to something works, use that. That's why I upload these TikToks after they've been recorded to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. It wasn't for me. I had no idea that that would be helpful. Somebody on a TikTok live last March, I guess, when I started really doing these, said, do you ever upload these things? It would be helpful to me if I could listen to it later. And it never occurred to me, but I'm like, yeah, sure, that sounds cool. And it does really help. Now, the one thing I want to offer to you, though, is noticing about these things, is when I coach, I'll get into some quick things about decluttering. Think of your clutter as in 3 layers, in 3 categories. Surface, stored, sentimental. Surface, stored, sentimental. When you're listening to something like this, when I'm kind of on in the background, it may be helpful. It works better for me, for example, to be doing the things that don't require a lot of internal dialogue. That would be the surface clutter, dishes, I know where the dishes go, I'm doing this, the kind of mindless putting things away, doing the laundry. You don't need to have an internal conversation. However, when you get into stored clutter and especially sentimental clutter, that's where it may help you to not necessarily listen to something with words, but to even just have a noise in the background, maybe some ambient music, maybe whatever, might help you focus, but that's when you need to listen in here and in here. And that's when you say to yourself, you open a drawer that's stored clutter. What is this item? Do I want it? If I want it, where does it go? If I don't want it, where does it go? If there's too much distraction, you can't hear your inner co-pilot helping you to remind yourself of what you love and the stuff that you don't like, especially with sentimental clutter. Sentimental clutter, that's going to make you feel feelings. There's nothing wrong with that because you are not a robot. Like when you sign up for the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, there's that little box that pops up. I am not a robot. Yay! Who knows? We're going to have robot overlords at some point. But in the meantime, embrace your humanity and know that you're going to feel feelings when you go through sentimental stuff. But know that those feelings, good, bad, everywhere in between, they don't last for more than a minute. I was on a coaching call this morning with a client I said if I had timed that, the tears came up, the face got red, the tears came up, the tears came out, then it was over, the face stopped getting red, the tears dried up, and on the other side of that is peace and clarity. So notice that. Surface clutter, sure, when you're working on surface clutter in the background, and if it works for you to have me chattering on in the background and you can have this convo with yourself, by all means do it. But I will say how it works for me is when you pay attention to what's going on in here and in here, that's when the really good stuff happens, okay? So I hope that helps you, okay? Trisha Eckert is saying, are there any places that do eBay consignments? I have so much stuff to sell but don't want to. Yes. The answer is yes. I don't know where you live, and this is why I coach people from all over the country of the United States. So you'll just, hello, Google. Let me Google that for you. Used to be a thing. Look for that. I was asking a person I know, hey, I've got this item. Do you want it? And she says no. However, what I do is I have a place that I go to that I drop off some stuff. They deal with it. They cut me. They take a cut, but they cut me a check. If that helps you, by all means, go for it. Do what feels right to get the stuff out of your home and out of your life so you can start living the life you want and feeling the way you want to feel in your body and in your life. Okay? Tiffany Nutt, I'm just signing off right now, but I want to offer you this. I don't know where and how to begin. Figure out the destination and then say what's in the middle of it. Watch one of my TikTok lives. I talk about overwhelm and that where do I start? I don't know where to begin. Start with getting quiet in your brain and write down what you want your home to look and feel like, and then point your card towards it and say, what can I do today to get to that destination? Rhonda Farmer is saying, I have so much sentimental clutter. Cool. Go live through those memories. Decide what you want. Decide what you can give away to other people. Decide what you can throw away at this point. Decide what you want to keep. Hang out with that stuff so you feel those feels and remember those stories. All right. Lab is saying, what state are you in? I was wondering, I saw you Wicked. So I was wondering if you are in New England. I used to be in New England for the first, God, Johnny. I was in New England for like the first 30 plus years of my life. I have lived for decades now outside of New England. I love my people. Yay, New England. However, I live in Pennsylvania at the moment. And my New England comes out, when I'm tired, when I'm drinking, when I say Wicked, it's the words I collect. Okay. Oh, hey, Cherub32169 says, my husband is renting a dumpster for Christmas for me. Can't wait. Cool idea. Cool idea. What I want you to caution you with, though, is when you get rid of things en masse, sometimes, not all the times, sometimes you miss out in an important lesson that you might learn about yourself, about what you kept and why you kept it. That the dumpster, it may not change your habits. It may not change your habits of cluttering and bringing more items in. I just want to offer that to you. Oftentimes we think, oh, I wish I could just get rid of all of this stuff. But then you notice you struggle to get rid of some stuff. So just notice that, okay? All right, where do we go? How do I get rid of things fast when I'm emotional about it all? Says Lynn. You don't. You don't. You take it at a pace that feels right to you and your nervous system, your internal system. Don't take it at any other pace than a pace that feels right to you. But also notice you're probably not emotional about it all. You're emotional about some things. You're emotional about many things, but you're not emotional about it all. And even if you were emotional about it all, every single thing gives you emotion, cool. Drive at a pace that works for you. But driving slowly is better than not driving at all. Okay? Yeah, me, myself, and I says that's why I keep the sentimental so I never forget. I do too. Or you forget it right up here, but then those things remind you of it. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Pennsylvania. I have a friend who did there we go. I have a friend who did exactly that, dumped, and then she replaced it because there is a lesson to be learned when you learn about yourself to say, what is this item? Why did I acquire it? Why am I still hanging on to it? What does it feel like to let it go? That's why I'm not just a decluttering coach who says, yeah, put everything in the dumpster and you're solved. Because if you don't learn the lesson, if you don't do the lifey coachy part of it, you are more likely going to reclutter and refill up those empty spaces, because those empty spaces make you feel a feeling and do a thing. Okay? Gosh, I could talk about this stuff for forever, and I often do. But my time is precious, and so is yours. And so I just want to sign off right now. I want to encourage you, if you just tuned in, I am Destination Decluttered. My name is Beth. I'm a Generation X life coach who likes to have fun with decluttering. And I offer one-on-one coaching, paid coaching at 10 session packages. There's a free mailing list. I do the TikTok lives. TikTok lives get onto whatever you call it, YouTube. You got this, though. You can do this. You can do something to change how your home looks, and more importantly, how you feel when you're in your home. Okay? Lynn is asking how to find one-on-one coaching. Very first step, go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com, and you'll find a work with me page, and there's going to be a big orange button that will click onto a calendar that will show when consultations are available for my one-on-one paid coaching. And I do want to just offer this too. My coaching prices will increase in the beginning of the year. They will continue to do so the more I coach. So the cheapest you will ever get my coaching, if money fear is coming up, the cheapest it will ever be is right now. So if you want to save yourself some nickels, nickels, Charlie Brown, sign up for a consultation now. If you shine on, and there are no spaces available, get onto my mailing list, and then we can figure out a time and space that works for you and works for me. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, and the coaching is just with me. I'm not only Spice Burling. I'm not only a client. I'm the owner. I'm a member. It's me. You get to work with me, just me. Why would I want you to work with anybody else? I don't have a team. My team is all in here. Okay. There we go. All right. This was a little bit over my regularly scheduled time. I will see you the next time I do a TikTok live. I'm moving forward. Oh heck, I believe it is tomorrow morning. 9 a.m. Eastern. So I'll see you tomorrow morning. There we go. Me, myself, and I. Do, 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 do. Now I'm going to go listen to, who was that? Not Diggable Planets. No, De La Soul. It's just me, myself, and I. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.